Welcome. Today, we're diving into an important topic in pharmaceutical science, the expiry date assignment for sterile pharmaceutical products. We'll explore how these dates are determined, why they matter, and the impact they have on safety and efficacy. Let's get started with Dr. S.K. Singh's insights on this critical process. Let's start by understanding what expiry date assignment really means. It's a scientific and regulatory process that defines how long a sterile pharmaceutical product stays safe and effective. We're talking about maintaining sterility, safety, efficacy, and quality, all the way through to container closure integrity. And this only holds true when the product is stored as approved. The ultimate goal here is simple: to make sure patients always get a product that meets every specification, right up until the very end of its shelf life. Let's take a closer look at the regulatory framework that guides our work. We rely on several key authorities, from the International Council for Harmonization to the FDA, the European Medicines Agency, and the World Health Organization. Each plays a vital role in setting standards. Alongside these agencies, we follow important guidelines, like ICH's stability testing protocols, EU GMP Annex 1, and USP standards for sterility and container integrity. Together, they ensure safety and quality in every step we take. When we talk about regulatory focus, sterility is non-negotiable. It has to be maintained for the entire shelf life. That means we need to consider packaging factors like glass delamination, elastomer compatibility, moisture permeability, and oxygen transmission. On the product side, things like drug degradation, pH shifts, oxidation, hydrolysis, and preservative loss all play a role. And we can't forget sterility-related risks: container closure integrity, microbial ingress, endotoxins, and environmental contamination all impact shelf life too. It's a complex balance. When we talk about shelf life, it's not just a number on a label. It needs solid backing. Stability data and container closure integrity are key. Different product types have different typical shelf lives. Small and large volume parenterals usually last 2 to 3 years. Lyophilized products can last even longer, up to 4 years. Ophthalmic preparations and prefilled syringes fall in the 1.5 to 3 year range. Biologics tend to have shorter shelf lives, around 1 to 2 years. Each category demands careful consideration. Let's talk about stability studies and how they support expiry dating. These studies follow the ICH Q1A, R2 guidelines, ensuring products remain safe and effective over time. For example, long-term studies in challenging climates like India's Zone IV use 30 degrees Celsius with controlled humidity. Accelerated studies push conditions even further, at 40 degrees Celsius. We also test storage in refrigerated, frozen, and room temperature settings. The goal: to prove that critical quality attributes hold steady throughout the product's shelf life. When we evaluate a product's stability, we look at a range of critical quality attributes. On the microbiological side, that means checking sterility, endotoxin levels, and how well antimicrobial preservatives work. For packaging, we focus on container closure integrity, making sure nothing leaks or contaminates the product. Chemically, we measure the assay, related substances, and any degradation products. Physically, we assess appearance, clarity, particles both visible and subvisible, pH, and for lyophilized products, reconstitution time. Each parameter tells us something vital about the product's quality over time. Now, let's talk about sterility assurance and expiry dating. These two concepts are critical in ensuring that products remain safe and effective throughout their shelf life. Sterility assurance means we have confidence that a product is free from harmful microbes. Expiry dating tells us how long that assurance lasts, when the product can no longer be guaranteed safe or effective. Together, they guide how we handle, store, and use products in healthcare and beyond. Let's talk about container closure integrity, or CCI, a critical factor when assigning expiry dates. CCI makes sure the packaging protects the product from things like microbes, moisture, oxygen, and any contamination. To check this, we use modern methods such as helium leak testing, vacuum decay, high-voltage leak detection, and laser headspace analysis. Regulators now favor deterministic testing methods, those that give clear, definitive results over probabilistic ones. This shift helps ensure product safety and reliability throughout its shelf life. Here, we're looking at an example of stability data over time, measured as assay percentages. Starting at 100%, the assay gradually decreases, down to about 97.6% after 2 years. This table follows the ICH-Q1E approach, which guides how we statistically evaluate stability in pharmaceuticals. The slight decline is expected, but it's important to confirm the product remains within acceptable limits throughout its shelf life. This kind of data helps us ensure safety and efficacy over time. When we talk about expiry dating for multi-dose sterile products, there are 2 key areas to focus on. First, preservative effectiveness, making sure the product stays safe and free from contamination during use. This means meeting strict standards like USB Chapter 51 and pH. UR 513. Then there's in-use stability. We evaluate how the product holds up after multiple withdrawals, under microbial challenge, and through chemical and physical changes. For example, a vial might have a shelf life of 24 months, but once opened, it's good for just 28 days. When it comes to expiry dating for aseptically processed products, regulators expect us to follow clear guidelines, like those in the EU GMP Annex 1 from 2022. To support our expiry dates, we need solid data. That includes media fill validation, environmental monitoring trends, sterility assurance programs, container closure integrity studies, and stability data. Importantly, we take a risk-based approach, meaning the expiry date reflects the combined risks of contamination and how sensitive the product is over time. It's about balancing safety with science. Let's explore some of the innovative approaches shaping how we predict shelf life today. Artificial intelligence is leading the way, using predictive degradation modeling to forecast product longevity more accurately. Machine learning helps us spot trends and mine stability data for deeper insights. Digital twins create virtual simulations of product stability, letting us test scenarios without real-world risk. Smart packaging adds another layer, with sensors tracking temperature and moisture in real time. Looking ahead, regulation is moving toward data-driven life cycle stability management, making these technologies essential for the future. Let's take a closer look at some common regulatory inspection findings across 3 key areas. First, the stability program, issues like too few commitment batches, unsupported shelf life extrapolations, and weak trend analysis. Then, sterility assurance, incomplete media fill data, poor contamination control, and inadequate container closure integrity validation. Finally, data integrity, missing audit trails, and weak control over electronic records. These gaps can lead to serious consequences: regulatory observations, shorter shelf lives, product recalls, and even warning letters. It's a clear reminder of where our focus needs to be. As we wrap up, it's clear that setting expiry dates for sterile products goes beyond just stability. It's about ensuring sterility, quality, and safety from start to finish. We rely on guidance from global authorities like ICH, USB, WHO, and others to build this foundation. Key factors like container closure integrity and sterility assurance play a huge role. Plus, ongoing monitoring keeps us on track. Looking ahead, AI and digital tools are shaping how we manage expiry dates in smarter, more precise ways. That brings us to the end. For any further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. Take care. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.